What's up everybody, welcome to the video, and today we're going to be going over the entire 8-minute gameplay reveal that was for Halo Infinite back at the Xbox Showcase. We're going to be breaking down scene by scene all the things that we noticed that you might not see just from watching it straight through. We're going to give you details on weapons, we're going to give you details on environment, we're going to give you things that you don't normally see and things that will be different from past Halos that are going to affect the gameplay in Halo Infinite. By the way, just want to mention, I love this menu of this demo. I hope this is for the final game. But anyways, let's get right into it.
Am I dead already? I must be. I mean, this is a punishment, right? Yep, this is death.
Alright, so this demo starts off with Chief talking to his pilot, who we have not been introduced to yet, but 343 has stated that this demo does take place a couple hours into Halo Infinite, so there'll be a lot of things that they're going to get out of the way in the first couple hours. Probably tie up a few loose ends from previous stories, like I've heard them say. They won't leave us in the dark about Cortana and other things. They will be getting that out to us. But in this clip right here, it looks like they're being shot down by AA guns, so the mission is to take out the AA guns, and as you can see, Chief talking to his pilot later in this demo that he says that he's seen a downed Condor that he wants to go get, and first Chief is going to take out the anti-aircraft and then he will come back to get him and they will go take care of that together. So that means that the pilot will most likely be tagging along with us in missions along through the gameplay, and I like that. I always did like when Marines was tagging along with me in the other games. It made for a fun time, especially to hear the banter. One other thing I noticed about this still shot and that I absolutely love is the fact that you can see the broken part of the ring in the distance.
No! No! No, 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 no! This isn't happening. I'm going to have to make an emergency landing. Hold on, Chief. No! No! You! I can't stand this! Who you are?
Breathe.
No! You don't get to tell me what to do. You don't get to tell me anything. We're... Are you even listening?
I count 3 anti-aircraft cannons.
3 what?
You'll be safe here.
Oh, I'll be safe. Safe? I haven't been safe since I found you. I found you, remember? You were out there on your own, and you'd still be out there if it wasn't for me.
Now that is something I'm interested to find out. How, when, where did he save him? He makes it sound as if he saved Chief's life.
I thought I was going home.
There won't be a home if we don't stop the Banished.
You keep saying that. We're outgunned, outnumbered. I know I saw condors over there. I'm going to dig through them and find one with the working sleep space drive. And when you're done with this war, we'll get away from here. Far away.
Wait here.
Oh, please. Let me see what I can find.
Cannons first. When I get back, we can look. Together.
Okay, big guy.
Alright, so here's our first look at the Halo Infinite HUD, and as you can see on top, we do have our shield generator. We have our first look at the MA40 assault rifle variant that is going to be in Halo Infinite. On the bottom left, we have our first look at the radar, which is good, and I hope in this game they can manage to get rid of the up and down for when you have people above and below you, because I do not like that aspect of the old radar. So let's see if they go back to the classic style motion sensor. And in the bottom right, we have our ammo count and our 2 weapons equipped. We also have what seems to be our grapple hook that is in the space for RB, which is kind of funny because I thought they just came out recently and said this was running on a PC, but looks like the grapple hook is set to RB, which has 1 charge, and I think that it also is going to have a cooldown timer, as we will see later in the demo. I love the addition of wildlife. It just makes the ring feel more alive. Okay, so I do like the addition of the blue mist when you shoot them, But we have yet to see the return of blood on the floor, and that would be really cool if we seen blue blood in the water and splattered on the rocks and things like that. We're still waiting for that to come back. Here we have confirmation of our first Covenant weapon. The plasma pistol, to no surprise, is making a return, and if you look underneath the weapon, it will tell you the type of weapon, the damage the weapon causes, and the fire of the weapon. And to this begs the question, are weapons in Halo going to be customizable? Can I change the type of damage that a plasma pistol does? Can I change the type of fire that a plasma pistol does? And quickly right here we see the shield recharge indicator on the screen. I'm still not sure how I feel about this yet. Sprint confirmed, and we get our first look at the Warthog here, and I have to say, I love the new design. And here's our first look at the TAC map, and I have to say that I'm not the biggest fan of this map. I would have much rather preferred a more realistic looking map where you could see the trees, see the color of the structures, see the density of the forest, see if it's dirt or water, things like that. This just isn't as appealing in my opinion, but anyways, this is what we do have. As you can see, objectives are labeled on the map, and up at the top we do have the upgrades tab, which is I'm guessing where we will be going for when we have our armor and weapon upgrades. Hold up, let me loop this real quick. Listen to that voice very closely. Okay, so is it just me, or does that sound like a female grunt? And here's our first look at the MK50 Sidekick pistol. 12 round magazine. I'm really excited to get my hands on this gun. I'm excited that they went back to this style of pistol instead of the slow firing Magnum with a scope, just to make something different. We already got a BR with a scope on it. We didn't need a pistol with a scope on it. That was something that I really enjoyed back in Combat Evolved. But I'm glad to see a pistol like this back in this game, and it looks a lot of fun to use. And this is going to be our first look at the VK78 Commando Tactical Rifle. It is labeled as a tactical rifle with kinetic damage, and it is full auto, and that leads me to wonder again if we can customize these, and maybe we could turn this into a burst weapon or something else. If you ask me, this gun performs more like a heavy assault rifle, and I'm hoping it is the replacement for the SAW because this looks much more fun to use. 20 round magazine, and I absolutely love this scope. So apparently brutes will take damage to their limbs now, because as shooting him in the leg, he does stumble and slow up his speed. This is Craig the Brute. He likes long walks on the beach, his favorite meal is grunt stew, and the one time burnt off all his body hair when he farted a little bit too close to a plasma battery. And another new piece of equipment is the drop wall. This is apparently the replacement for the bubble shield, if the bubble shield doesn't make it into this game. And I have to say I like it. It won't offer full protection from above and everything, but it'll open up a lot of opportunities for some fun gameplay. Okay, so this is FutureWeb coming back to edit this video, because this is something I missed on my initial render. Very easily missed if you see what I'm talking about here. Watch as Chief leaves the drop wall and he does a little sidestep as he comes out. So apparently he has a little dodge move, and I am just praying that this does not make it in the multiplayer, because this just reminds me of Halo Reach, even though it's not as big of a dodge move, but it's still something I don't want to see in multiplayer. I'm totally cool with seeing this in campaign, but I'm just praying that this doesn't make it in the multiplayer. Please 343, leave this out. Grappling enemies confirmed. Please don't let this make it in the multiplayer. But one other thing I have to say is I absolutely love how the Brute's armor can be shot off in separate pieces. And here's the first look at the Ravager. Banished weapon that has 3-round burst and a plasma damage, but also has a blade attached to the front, and I'm pretty sure that's going to change your melee to a stab. This weapon isn't used at this moment, but in a minute we're going to get right into it when we do. Cue the classic Halo music. Oh, and the clouds popping in the background. There's our first look at a Jackal, and they look a little bit different from this distance, but I kind of like it. In the bottom right hand corner you can see it says 57%, and that is the ammo left in this weapon. Later Master Chief runs a weapon down to 0% and he throws away the weapon, so I'm not sure if these weapons can actually be reloaded. They might have to just be swapped out for a new weapon. I also noticed in the screen here it does say RB vent, so this weapon will overheat and you'll have to vent it to keep the heat down so it doesn't lock up on you. Please 343, please 343, I beg you, please make a grunt tossing playlist. In a few frames here I'm going to show you exactly what happened in this still. Mantle, clamor, vaulting, whatever you want to call it, confirmed. New weapon incoming. Just in case you missed that, I'm going to roll it back one more time, but that is a grunt being tossed by a brute. That's exactly what happened before. And I have to say, he's got a really bad toss. I could take him in a match of grunt tossing any day. Die for the banished. And meet the Pulse Carbine. Most likely the weapon to replace the Storm Rifle, a 3-round burst carbine, plasma damage. Once again, this weapon will have the vent/overheat mechanic to it. The plasma cloud at the end of the muzzle looks so cool. I do hope that they also have the regular Covenant carbine back in this game as well. And another new banished weapon named the Mangler. This thing looks like it has a nasty melee. It looks like it fires slugs, and I'm pretty sure this is the banished version of the Mauler. And this looked like it could have been easily overlooked when watching this demo. It looks like some sort of pulse scan. It brings up his objective HUD, and as you can see in a few frames, it will highlight the barrels through the rock. And I'm just praying that this does not highlight enemies, and especially people, and please leave it out of multiplayer. First look at the new Shade turret. And say hello to the CQS-48 Bulldog Pump Shotgun. It sports a grip that acts as a pump as well, and has a 10-round drum magazine for quick reloads. This thing is going to be my new best friend. Oh, did I mention it has a pretty good rate of fire as well? Okay, so is it just me, or does that brute look like he's got an overshield on? I'm not sure if that is an overshield or not, but we're going to find out. To me, it does look like it, but please, please, please no watchers. Please, 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 no watchers. Please, no watchers, 343. Okay, so in the next couple frames here, keep an eye out how the brute actually reacts to being shot in the back. Alright, and here you can see that the Needler is classified as an SMG, kinetic, and full auto.
The UNSC lost this war months ago. Your people are broken.
And meet Eshram, the banished war chief who has control of this ring. Also, he is voice acted by Darren DePaul, who I am already giving voice actor of the year to, because he does an amazing performance so far as Eshram.
Scattered, hunted, defeated by me. I wish I could tell you it was difficult, but it wasn't. We are one step ahead, always. The ring is already under our control. Soon, the auditorium as well. The Harbinger and the Banished share the same goal.
The Harbinger and the Banished share the same goal. Question is, who is the Harbinger? Is that another species that was on this ring before they got there and decided to work together and they took control of this ring? Or is that like a band of the elites that are fighting alongside of the Banished?
We fight together to honor the will of Atriox. But without challenge, I grew weary, lost, alone.
I love this dude already.
Here you now stand. This is my last fight. A true test of legends. Our story will outlive us both. Set a fire in your heart, Spartan. Bare your fangs. Fight hard. Die well.
Okay, I'm not joking when I say this whole performance right here is enough to give you chills. Between the voice acting, the writing, and the animation, A+. And that'll do it for the breakdown and analysis of this gameplay demo from Halo Infinite. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. Thank you everybody for checking out this video, and I'm out.